Good morning. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's doing well. I was StreamYard keeps changing things around. Um, every time I jump on, there's something new. But hey, we're here. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Like I said, I hope everybody is doing well. We got a few people hanging out with us already in the chat. Good to see everybody this morning. Christina's here. Good morning, Christina. Dropping all of the links and reminding everybody to spread the love. Appreciate that. Dropping my links. Nominations. Yes, we'll talk a little bit about the CBC Awards this morning. Got some couple updates. Nothing too major. Follow Christina on IG. Comics Curing Cancer. I gotta check. Has Comics Curing Cancer C3 do we have the official dates in October? I'm not sure if I've seen those or just hasn't been paying close attention, but I'll have to see if we actually have Mark's here. Maybe he can answer it. Mark is here from vacation still, I believe. No, he's been on vacation all week. And there's his link. Cat Fan's here. Good morning, Cat Fan. Appreciate you being here. Yes. Grab a bowl of sugary cereal this morning. Something with marshmallows, hopefully. Brad is here. Wellbore, good morning. Phil is here. Good morning, Phil. Crunch berries. That's a good one. Yeah, I guess we're almost. Yeah. I mean, July's going pretty quick. Soon enough, we'll have all of the Halloween cereals, right? The Boo Berry and Frankenberry and Count Chocula. Those breakfast cereals will be available soon, I'm sure. I'm starting to see already. Well, it's a little bit different here in South Carolina. Schools go back early, for me early, compared to the New York. They go back in early August. So all the back to school stuff has been going on for a while. When we lived in, like I said, in New York, we didn't go back to school until September. So you still had all of August to enjoy the summer. But yeah, so I was already seeing back to school stuff. And then, not long after that will be the Halloween stuff. So Trev, good morning. Hope you are doing well. Neil is here. Good morning, Neil. If you don't know, that's Neil Collects. Collectomania Canned Onion Gaming is now Neil. So definitely go check him out. He's been doing some stuff on gaming on Twitch, I believe. Dope is in the house, and I'm wearing the FOMO Squad T-shirt today, and you've got Dope right here. One of my gifts at Heroes Con this year, FOMO Squad T-shirt, among other things. And the cheese on, that's a good choice. Yeah, I usually go eggs on the weekend, little eggs and bacon, because I have a little bit more time on Saturday and Sunday to cook as opposed to running out the door to get to work. So Larry's here. Good morning, Larry. He's up early on the West Coast. Joe is here. Pocan Joe. Morning, Joe. Hope all is well. And Joe, you got to check it out. Joe's got a series. I don't know how many videos, probably 6-7 videos. He is putting a collection together for his grandson and some of the books that he's putting in. So yeah, definitely need to go check that out. I really enjoyed seeing what he's putting together, curating for his grandson when he's old enough to enjoy books. Yeah, right. Halloween, the Frankenberry, all those cereals. Mike is here. Good morning, Mike. Appreciate you being here. Got a lot of people hanging out with us this morning. That's good to see everybody. Let's see. Fruit Loops, another good sugary cereal for sure. Casito's here. Interesting thing too. Fruit Loops. I think I mentioned this before. My high school I was in high school. I took a lot of art classes, and I actually did some video production classes and things like that. This is a long time ago in the 80s. But anyway, the art, I guess he was like the art department director. He actually invented the Toucan Sam. He developed that character for, is it, I forget, is Fruit Loops Kellogg's or General Mill. I don't know who they are, but he was working for that company and he designed Toucan Sam, and it was because he was working for them. It was their property, and yeah, so he never really saw much money from Toucan Sam design, and he's gone on to be their mascot on their cereal for a really long time. So just interesting story. And I remember him saying he wished he would have hung on to the design or had some other agreement with them about creating that character. Oreo. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Phil. Josie and the Pussycats, Pebbles, and Bam Bam. Those are good ones. I remember always watching, obviously, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, but Super Friends. Super Friends, that seemed to be on even before, because I think that was late 70s when that came on. So I remember always watching the Super Friends first. Morning, Zach. Good to see you. Let's see. Still scrolling, making sure I'm saying hello to everybody. Yes, that's right. We had breakfast a few times at Heroes Con. That's the great thing about Heroes Con is what are we doing after the con, or in the morning, everybody getting together and having breakfast and figuring out what they were doing for the day at the con. That was really fun. And we had some crispy bacon. The hotel had definitely had some crispy bacon for sure. Taku Mike is here. Good morning, Mike. Let's see. Wonder Twins activate. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I remember, I got to go back and look. I think the Super Friends was prior to Amazing Spider-Man, because Amazing Spider-Man or Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends was like early 80s, but I think the Super Friends was earlier than that. So, all right, third weekend in October. Yeah, I just want to make sure when we talk about it, I know what the exact dates are, because that's kind of really the next a big event, but I'll have to take a look at that. Kenneth Bird is here. Good morning, Kenneth. Hope everybody by you is doing well. Canadian Survivalist, good morning. All right. So before we get into everything, just wanted to shout out channel members. Thank you for your membership. Always like to highlight the channel members. Any money that we bring in for the channel actually goes back to either the channel or typically the CBC awards, because that is the big expense. And we're gonna be doing a live stream. I might switch it up. I have it scheduled for Thursday night right now, kind of a random giveaway stream. Got a bunch of books, short box full of books. We're going to be doing a giveaway coming up. I have it scheduled for this coming Thursday. I may switch it because I'm going to see Fantastic Four Thursday, so I don't want to cut myself too close in time. So, but be on the lookout for that. I have it, like I said, scheduled right now for Thursday. I may just leave it there or push it back a little bit. I think I have it scheduled for 9 p.m. Eastern. But big shout out to the channel members. Got a couple of them hanging out with us this morning. Cat Fan Comics Man, Gene Marlowe, Kingdom of Nerds, Dead Man Comic Show. I think he just changed his name too. I don't think Terry says Dead Man Comic Cover Show. I got to double check that. I think he might have changed his name recently. Naman the Bookworm, still only 35 cent. Dave, Raph Retro Comics, who was our guest last stream, Fantastic Comics and Art, and S. Vaughn, Scotty Vaughn 82. Appreciate all of the channel members. Why does that do that? Every time I switch, it bounces me back in. James Willie's here, the real James Willie, as Rob Fatstacks would say. Rich is here, Big Nasty. Got to see him at Heroes. Side Eric's here. Where's Eric? He's down on the shirt here. He's right here. Good morning. Appreciate you guys being here. Yeah. So finally got to see. I was going to talk Superman, but let's talk CBC Awards. We'll get that out of the way. 2 weeks left. Nominations close. Not October. August 2nd. So 2 weeks from today, nominations will close. Just updated the nominees on the website, on the CBC Awards website. And some news there. CBC Awards, CBCAwards.org, ORG, is the main site. But I just took a look this week and realized that CBCAwards.com was available and was able to get that. So now we have both CBCAwards.com and CBCAwards.org. I'll leave those up and running because obviously for the last 4.5 years, we've been .org. So I don't want to confuse people, but we actually have the .com now to go with the CBC Awards. Updated the list. There's well over 600 nominees on that list. There are some duplicates because some people are nominated multiple times, maybe for different shows, things like that. So there's probably roughly a unique list of over 500 channels on the CBC Awards website. So definitely go check that out. Go take a look at the list. See, there might be a name or two. I'm sure there's multiple names that maybe you're not familiar with, and go sub them up. Definitely go sub up those channels. Saturday work. Yeah, that's never fun. But yeah, so definitely go check out the CBC Awards website. We're updated, and like I said, we've got 2 weeks left. So if during one of your live streams or videos, if you could, or even on Instagram, if you could share it out, shout it out in one of your videos, live streams, just to remind everybody about that we're 2 weeks away. The nominations are really the most important. We'd really appreciate you guys just mentioning those so that we can help spread the word. I'll have to take a look at how many nomination ballots we have in. I know there was about well over 300 last time I checked, but definitely like to increase those numbers because that's the really important part to for those channels now to become finalists. So so that's what I do. I basically it's just I update the site on the back end and it goes to both CBCAwards.com and .org. But I thought it would be good to have the .com because obviously, for a lot of people, that's what they're familiar with. So Matt Likes Comics is here. Good morning. And I'm going to be, I'm going to be with Matt on Tuesday. We're going to be hanging out on Tuesday on Matt's channel, 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe. So, looking forward to that. Let's see. Cat fan dropping a link for us. Yeah. So, CBCAwards.org or .com now. So I finally got to go see Superman yesterday. My wife actually wanted to go see Superman. She's seen the trailers, obviously. And she was like, I want to go see it. And we just there were a couple days. She works in retail, so her schedule's a little bit all over the place. So we were trying to figure out a time that we could go together. And it just, we kept, with other things going on, we could never do that. And so she was working late yesterday. And so I was like, I'm going to go. I'm getting tickets because I can't wait any longer because I've been having to dip out of videos. I didn't want to be spoiled by any of the talk on, on channels, live streams. So I've been avoiding that just because I wanted to go see it and try to go in with as much, as spoiler free as I could. I think I heard one thing about a cameo at the end of the movie that I don't think I was aware of, but it wasn't really a big deal. But yeah, so got to see Superman yesterday afternoon. I really liked it. I was worried. A couple things I thought going in were that Superman, Corn Sweat. There's times that I look at him as Superman, and I don't know. There's something about his face or his jaw that I don't know, just doesn't give me Superman vibes sometimes, which is kind of silly, but that was the one impression I had. And the other impression I had was based on the trailers, it looked like there was a lot of characters and that could be a problem, that there were so many different characters. So that was the two things I kind of went in with negatively. Everything else, I'm a big dog fan. I've had dogs all my life. We have 2 dogs that I walk every day. I love dogs. I love animals. So having Crypto in it was like a hook for me, because I'm a dog person. But I thought it was really well done. Just overall, so the movie's over 2 hours. It never felt slow. Like I never felt like I was checking my, my watch or my phone to see what time it was. The movie I thought was paced very well. It moved really fast. Visually, I thought it looked really good. There's, the special effects, the CGI. I didn't have any, and there were definitely, it's heavy CGI stuff with a lot of storyline. So visually, it looked really good. And from the first scene, and obviously we didn't revisit Superman's origin, at least directly. There was references to it and flashbacks, and so we got that bit of story about his origin. But we jumped right into the story. We didn't, similar to what they did with Spider-Man, Tom Holland. There was no, we didn't tell his origin story again because we know it, we've seen it. We don't need to see it again. And so I thought that was good. And you jumped right in. We jumped right in to the story, and immediately you felt you knew this was going to be a different Superman movie because what happens. And so I'm trying to, I guess I don't need to, I don't know who's seen it and who hasn't seen it. But from the opening scene, you felt something for Superman. He was in a different situation that he's been in before. He was beaten, and you get the scene with Crypto, pulling him. We've seen it in the trailer, taking him back to the his fortress. So I was hooked right away, like that emotional, like you're rooting for Superman because he's beaten, and and again the dog. Crypto hooking me, as a dog person. So, and then I really thought the film was done really well. I thought Mr. Terrific was terrific. I thought he was kind of a standout because he plays a big part in, the storyline. But I thought he was really, and I don't know much about him at all, because I don't read a lot of Superman books, or books that I have read of Superman. I don't remember Mr. Terrific being in it. So I thought he was a standout as far as some of the other supporting characters. Thought Lois Lane was really, really good. Jimmy Olsen was funny. Yeah, I took a quick peek at the box office. And it's made at least $10 million every day of the week. So, it dropped off a little bit Monday, but then like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday were all like $10 million or more. So it definitely seems like it's not lost a lot of steam, because sometimes during the week it really drops off. So it'll be interesting to see what the numbers are for this weekend, but it definitely seems like it's got some big staying power for sure. For sure, because typically midweek, even the biggest of movies that has a big opening weekend will, do 3, 4, 5 million. But it is summertime. People are off, vacations, kids are out of school, that type of thing. I went to an afternoon show, like a 3:40 show yesterday, and the theater wasn't full, but it was probably half full. Um, so if there were, 50 seats in the theater, there were, 25 people at least. It was a pretty good crowd for an early afternoon show. I guess it would still be considered a matinee. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. I am interested to see, so like I said, to see how it does box office wise. Now I can go back and watch some of the discussions that have been going on. I know Tuesday night on Hall Yes channel, Dope and SideQuest and Lettuce were all talking about it. They talked about it last Sunday with Ricky. I know Legion did a whole thing on it last Sunday night, week's end. So definitely now I can kind of go back and listen to those and see what everybody else is thinking of it. So yeah, definitely. Let's see. A couple people joined us. Drew is here. Clean Cheap Shots. Good morning. He's been doing some great, showing some cards off at, well, why am I drawing a blank? What national park? Yellowstone? Yellowstone? Yeah. So definitely go check that out. Mark is back. Oh, come on. That's not true. I don't think the Tom Holland movies were bad. They were. I mean, I think the biggest issue that a lot of people had with it was the Tony Stark mentoring Spider-Man. But I thought that the last movie, No Way Home, was excellent, and I think they've set it up for future. But let's see, it was okay. Personally, 5 out of 10. I don't know. I thought it. It's a flop. Minecraft did better. Yes, I know. Well, I mean, what kid doesn't want to go see Minecraft? But I think, the thing about Superman is I think it's a movie. Like my wife has seen both. My wife's not. She watches most of the movies with me. She'll go to the movies, or if we're watching them at home. So she saw both the trailers for Superman and Fantastic Four, and she wanted to go see Superman over Fantastic Four. So I don't know if that says anything, but I think Superman has I think a general, somebody who's not into comic books like we are, would be very interested in that movie because of the storyline. I think, like I said, crypto, I think, is a big hook for some people. Non-comic book fans, if you're an animal person, a dog person, I think that his storyline throughout it, I think will be a hook. Mark can tell us he takes care of animals for a living, so he should know. Yeah, Minecraft. I mean, you think of Jack Black's last 3 movies, right? 3 or 4 movies between Jumanji, Minecraft, and Mario Brothers. The guy's killing it over there. He's got some of the biggest movies over the last, like you said, probably 10 years. Comics fan. Where's Lettuce? Now that Nate is here, we've got 3/4 of the FOMO squad with us. We need Lettuce, but I think he's traveling up north somewhere. Yeah. Well, I think that's what Gunn did with Superman. From that opening scene, you were invested in Superman. As I think of it as like The Boys with Homelander, right? Homelander is so powerful, and he's a jerk, so you're not rooting for him. But like Invincible, heroes that are that strong, it's tough to root for them because what's the stakes? There's really no stakes. And from the opening scene, we see Superman being, defeated, losing a battle, and you get hooked emotionally, like, what's going on? Maybe he's not as strong as I think he is, and how is he going to overcome this, right? So, So that's kind of what got me thinking about it afterwards. Was like, they definitely Gunn did a good job of, trying to hook you, being invested in the main character who, as an all powerful, meta human, do you really care that much about him, right? Hmm. Okay. Yeah. My wife was actually, she was working, and when she came home, she was like, "Well, she's like, how was the movie?" I said, "It was really good. I enjoyed it." She said, "Well, I thought we were going to go together," and I said, "Well, we kept trying, and I couldn't wait, but I would go back again and see it with her. So we're going to try to make that happen in the future. I would definitely sit through it again, um, and maybe look at some of the things." Because I know there were a bunch of Easter eggs and a bunch of references and things like that. So definitely, I would definitely sit through it again. No issue. So yeah, I would definitely want to go back now and, like I said, watch some of the videos, live streams that you guys had. Hall, yeah, and side quests and the whole FOMO squad talked about it, and then Legion did. I know Legion will do a big he did a big breakdown on it too. So between Superman and Lois, yeah, they're definitely, obviously Christopher Reeves, the original Superman movies. Um, yeah, you felt um, the um, the relationship between the two, and I thought it was done well in this Superman as well. Yeah, Lettuce is in Canada. He's north. I know Cliff on Comics was up in Canada as well. Um, Minecraft was horrible. I wouldn't expect I wouldn't expect that to be a great movie for sure. Yeah, no, I think it did, right? Because as a dog person, when when the scene in the movie when he gets, he's trapped, I'm like, and there was a scene where you weren't sure if he was going to make it at one point. I was like, they can't kill the dog. So yeah, I mean, I was invested in the crypto, the crypto storyline for sure. All right, three-quarters of the FOMO squad is fine. I'll take it. That's funny. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that was the thing. Like, for I think non, major superhero comic book people, there's enough, emotional, you get hooked emotionally with some of the storyline with the dog, with crypto. And then, as comic book people, for Superman, seeing him in a position that we often don't see him in right away, right out of the gate, I thought was, yeah, those were really kind of um, yeah, that's true. I think it was they were definitely setting up the universe, right? With the Justice Gang and some of the things that they had set up with some of the other characters. And then too, Lex Luthor, what he was trying to do, and it was full steam ahead, right? We didn't get really any backstory on Lex. We just he was just, you know, full steam ahead. He was heavy on the gas pedal from right from the beginning of it. So, um, Madam is here. Good morning, Mike. Have a great day at work. Dealing with the people at the casino. I guess best good news that it's early in the morning and maybe you won't have too many cranky people. It'll probably late Saturday night is when it gets crazier, but I'm sure in a casino when there's money involved, you get the crazies come out at all the times, right? So let's see. Yeah, Jimmy Olsen was good. A lot of the surrounding characters, supporting characters, and right, they didn't really show much of the Daily Planet. And Superman wasn't really Clark Clark Kent that much, right? He was mainly Superman in the movie. There were a few scenes with him. There's an opening scene where he's coming to the Daily Planet, and we see him in the glasses and kind of the goofy hair, the little curly hair there. But yeah, in most of the movie, he was, he was Superman. So yeah, she was definitely a strong female character, for sure, right? But I think that's kind of what we're used to with Lois. At least I think now, right? Current Lois, probably not the original Lois from the, golden age, right? Because just different time in the world. But yeah, she was definitely, you know, she didn't when the interview scene with her and Clark Superman at her apartment early on, she wasn't backing down, right? She wasn't, just because he was Superman, she wasn't gonna not ask him the hard questions for sure. Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, my kids, my kids are young adults now, more than young adults. I mean, my oldest son is 26, so and he played Minecraft, when he was, a kid. So yeah, I get the I get it for sure. Freedom Sufferer cards. Good morning. Well, not morning for you, I'm sure, but appreciate you stopping by. Check out Freedom Sufferer Cards if you don't know his channel. Great. He's got a great channel, does some great card rips. So definitely go check that out. Um, yes, right. That's what I was thinking. uh, let's see. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, some of those, right. And I still haven't seen the Mario Brothers movie yet. I don't know why I haven't seen it. I need to. I'd like to see it, but that's another for people fans of Nintendo and Super Mario Brothers, right? That was because that did such big money as well. That was a big box office draw. But yeah, so I would definitely recommend Superman. I thought it was done really well. Um, yeah, like I said, maybe a little bit of a I think who was Trev who mentioned it, maybe a kind of a world building, kind of setting up, the gun DCU. But I thought it was done well, right? Um, I didn't feel like there were too many characters. Um, so, and like I said, I thought as supporting cast, Lois Lane stood out. I thought, the whole Daily Planet crew was good. They weren't really in it that much, but they were good. And then Mr. Terrific, I thought he was the standout for me. So, but yeah, definitely enjoyable. Like I said, if my wife wants to go to see it, I will definitely go back and check that out with her. So, but yeah, now I can go watch all of the spoiler stuff from everybody and see what everybody else really thought. So, fanboys at Whataburger, very nice. I had Whataburger last weekend for the first time. Got a burger and fries. Not bad. Um, I know you guys are fans of the breakfast. I have not tried the breakfast yet. Um, Super Friends and Smurfs. Yeah, watch them. Yeah, Super Friends. Yeah, that was. Yeah. So on to our next Fantastic Four releases this week. Um, I have tickets for Thursday evening. I think I forget what it is. It's like a 5 o'clock show, I think, or four something show. Um, my son and I are going to go see it after work Thursday. So looking forward to that. Interesting. I went when I went to go buy tickets. Um, I did notice that one of the local. So we have Regals, mainly Regal theaters here, and one of the Regals is smaller. The two that are close by, one's smaller, one's a bigger um, theater. We're going to the bigger one, and a few of the shows were already sold out. I mean, it's only a week, about a week before it goes, before it's in theaters. And there was an earlier show. I was going to try to do like a 3:30 show or something like that. That was sold out. There were a few shows on Thursday that were already sold out. So I don't know, whether that's obviously that's a good sign if they're sold out, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of numbers it does, compared to Superman, right? That'll be the big discussion, Fantastic Four opening weekend compared to Superman, I'm sure. I'm trying not to watch any more of the trailers or anything because it seems like they're, giving us more and more in the trailers. Nate, thanks for stopping in. So I'm trying to avoid any. I want to kind of clear my mind and go into the Fantastic Four. It's hard to, on Instagram, things like that. There's so much stuff being shared about it. So I guess if I just don't go to maybe stay away from a Coldplay concert, and I won't get upset with any additional spoilers. So JSS Brooklyn. Yes. Wish your wife a happy birthday from us. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Yes. Don't, with all the comic book stuff she puts up with, at least give her the weekend. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting. I mean, yeah, I hope it's not just kind of right there, kind of standard, formula type movie. I hope, and we've seen a lot. I feel like we've seen a lot in the trailers. So I'm hoping that, we haven't, there's still some surprises left, right? There was news about a character not being cut from the film. So, I'm hoping that, we don't basically know the entire movie of what we've seen in the trailer so far. So, yeah, I'm just hoping it moves the story along. Obviously with the last, couple films and TV shows that we've gotten in the MCU, I thought, Thunderbolts was good. I enjoyed it. So yeah, we'll see. I'm interested to see the Mr. Fantastic, the special effects and how they use his powers, things like that. I think the Thing looks really good, right? We saw in one of the trailers, he's got a beard and they keep mentioning, it's clobbering time, but he won't say it. So I'm sure we're going to get that in the movie. So yeah, I'm definitely interested. That's why I, and the fact that my wife didn't want to see it, so that's why I jumped on the Thursday show to avoid, so that I can get in on the discussions with people, and I don't have to wait a week. So we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think right. I mean, I wasn't. When we seen that in the trailer, when I watched it, I wasn't like wowed by it. The Bigfoot, crushing, walking down the street. So we'll see. Three Good Nerds is here. Justin, good morning. If you haven't seen, you got to go over to Justin's channel. He just acquired not a comic book grail, but a card collecting grail. You definitely got to go check that out. Justin has been saving money and squirreling away money to get this big card grail. So you definitely need to go check out the reveal. He did a live stream about it, and then he just dropped the video about it as well. So definitely go check that out. Super excited that he was able to, and I won't spoil it. Go watch it. I was excited for him because I've been following along. He's been doing a series of videos showing how he's saving for the grail by, putting money away, trying to earn extra, not taking money out of his, family's budget to do that. So really, really good stuff. Definitely go check it out. Yeah, so we'll see. Fantastic Four on Thursday. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think I have, even with Superman, I didn't go in with high. I didn't go in with any expectations. I was a little concerned about some of the things I saw in the trailer, but I thought it was done really well. Fantastic Four, going like I said, going in, I feel like maybe they've given away too much in the trailer. So, we've basically seen, right? We've seen basically all of the characters, at least that I know of. Um, so yeah, I'm a little worried. Yes, being the non-sports guy, you probably can't think of it. But definitely go check out Justin's channel. And then let's see. Come on, there we go. Fantastic Four, CBC Awards members. Ironheart. I finished watching Ironheart. Um, I thought it was. Let's. I mean, it was okay. um, I think right. It was somebody mentioned in a video talking about it that it was scheduled to be released like a couple years ago and it was delayed. So definitely having the gap between when she was introduced in um, the Black Panther, the second Black Panther movie, was I think unfortunate because there was that gap in time. So you didn't have that connection. And they reference Wakanda and a few times in it, but I think if they were closer together when Black Panther 2 was released and when this came out, it would have made better sense. I thought it was done visually. It looked good. I didn't have any problems with any of the special effects. Thought the soundtrack was really good. The acting was for most part, and it was one really big reveal. One of the villains that we've been talking about forever in the MCU's finally made it to the MCU. Um, so, um, so yeah, I don't know if it kind of felt like kind of a throwaway series. Like I don't know if it really moved the storyline or MCU along. So I don't know what their plan is with her Ironheart as the character moving forward. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's not like I disliked it, but I don't know if I guess the best way to describe Ironheart was probably kind of forgettable. Like there's a couple little key pieces of information. The one character that they introduced, Mephisto, that they finally introduced him. I don't know. So yeah. She Hulk was a miss. They just really I felt like they botched that for sure. Um, I mean, Wolverine and Deadpool was more fun. I think as far as getting a bunch of cameos and things like that, but not, like I said, I don't think it really moved. Wasn't like Endgame where you've got this, moving the story forward. It was just kind of just it's fun to have these two characters together. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I can definitely see. I can see that people won't be excited. Um, about Fantastic Four. Um, let's see. Yeah, and that's interesting because she in the series is really kind of you don't know, kind of which side is she's running with a bunch of criminals and yeah. So, oh, nice, very good. I think you're going to enjoy it. Camcorder nonsense. Definitely check out if you don't know Camcorder's channel. Definitely go check out Camcorder. So some funny stuff on his channel. So the new Fantastic Four. Sue is now the leader. Well, right, she is Reed Richards' wife, right? So I think that sometimes that happens in when you're married. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been watching. I don't know what I'm watching next. There's a bunch of stuff I haven't seen, so um, I'm gonna need something to up next. I haven't watched Reacher yet. I know I want to watch that. I haven't seen the Mission Impossible, um, the new Mission Impossible. I don't think that's out on streaming yet, but the new Jurassic Park, we didn't go see. I think we were just going to wait for video wait for watching it at home streaming video. I sound like an old man. So, okay, so Sue is leading, right? Halo, the TV series, right? Yeah, I'm sure. It was funny. My mom came to visit a couple weeks, well, in June, early June, um, and she went to see Mission Impossible. She went out with her girlfriends one day, and I'm like, Mom, what do you? Because she's never seen. I don't think she's seen the previous ones. She was like, Yeah, it was crazy. So I thought that was funny that my 86-year-old mom went to go see Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible. So. But yeah, so I gotta figure out what I'm watching next. I want to show off because I think I only did it on Instagram. So I wanted to show you this original art that I got from Stevie D, and I just dropped his link in the chat. So definitely go check out his channel, which I thought he did a pretty good job. I mean, look at this. It's like you're in a mirror here. Look at you got the Spider-Man. That's the Spider-Man that's up there, and the other Spidey picture that's right behind me. He's even got the YouTube light that I've got. I mean, he did a pretty comic boxes. I mean, he nailed this. Look at this. And I like that he drew me about 20 pounds thinner. So I appreciate that. So Stevie D, definitely go check out his channel. He's been doing a bunch of different art for some community members. So definitely go check that out. And two, Dope was here earlier. We got to drop Dope's link because let me check. Dope Comics. Let me get his link. That's not it. You got to use the underscore. Dope Comics is getting close. He's at 967. So 33 away from 1K. So we got to get Dope to 1K. Yeah, Stevie's art's been great. I know Chunko just showed off a bunch of stuff, a couple pictures of him and his dog that Stevie D did. So yeah, definitely go check him out. And yeah, Dope. If you're not following Dope Comics, he is 33 away from 1,000 subs. So definitely go check that out. Go check him out. Let's get him to 1,000. Yeah, and the one thing I am interested in to see because now in the trailers, right, in the initial trailer we saw that Sue was pregnant, and then in some of the trailers now we see the baby. Now what do we see any of the powers from the baby, right, from Franklin? So it'll be interesting. So. Yeah, he did. He did do a really accurate job. I was surprised. Okay, the great TV show. I'm a comics fan. I think that's what you're talking about, right? We've been talking about I was referencing the Tom Cruise the Tom Cruise movies. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's so. Any recommendations on something I should watch? I've watched Invincible. I've watched The Boys. Um, there are a couple shows. Reacher is something that comes to mind. Um, what's the Apple TV show that everybody was talking about? I'm drawing a blank. I haven't watched Ted Lasso. And what's the Apple series that was the buzz? I think it's like 2 seasons. That I haven't watched a lot on Apple TV because we don't have it currently. Um, I know what we've got. Peacemaker, right? That's August or September that comes out. Yes, Severance. Yeah. I haven't watched that. I know there are a lot of people who are talking about that. Um, so yeah, I got to figure out something that I can watch. Waterfront is good. Waterfront? I don't know if I what service is that? What streaming service is it on? Peacemaker, yeah, August. Okay, and that's going to be HBO Max. So I don't currently have HBO Max, so definitely I'll probably wait. Do we know how they're releasing Peacemaker? Is it week by week? I'll have to look that up because I'll probably get HBO Max at the end and kind of just binge watch it. Um, so Lincoln Lawyer. All right, all right. Hmm. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, we do have Netflix now. Netflix, Disney, and what else do we have? And Prime. Those are the three I have right now. But we'll do that. Well, we'll switch off. Like if there's a show we want to watch, wait till it's over, pick up that service, binge watch it, and then be done with it, so that we're not carrying a million subscriptions at once. Yeah, and it was funny, right? We got a little Peacemaker cameo in Superman 2. I thought that was funny. Another dig at Disney. I got you, Mark. I got you. I definitely like the weekly. It builds the weekly drop builds anticipation, right? Because I know when I watched the Penguin, and I watched that weekly. You were like you wanted more, and you couldn't wait till the next episode dropped. So I do. I remember it. Watching the Sopranos on Sunday nights, like you couldn't wait until the following week. And they did that with a number of their shows. Sopranos, True Blood was another one that my wife and I watched that were the same way. Like there was always some type of cliffhanger, or you just couldn't wait until the next um, episode. Queen's Gambit, only a couple episodes in, but so far so good. Yeah, he did too. He got a little bit of a roar from the crowd when he came on. Um, I got to stop watching so much damn YouTube and go watch some other stuff on some of the streaming services. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Right, the building, the anticipation, and people not that people water cooler talk about it anymore, but on social media, that kind of stuff, right? Certainly, when it's all dumped at once, yeah, it doesn't feel as important or as I don't know if important is the right word, but yeah, yeah, no, I know what you mean. No, I've not watched that. Damien's here. Good morning, Damien, all the way from the West Coast. Yeah, I guess right. If you're not, yeah, I guess more offense and less defense if you have a gun and no shield, right? All right, thanks. Thanks for stopping in. Have a good day at work on a Saturday. But yeah, we're probably going to wrap up soon anyway. Yeah, appreciate everybody coming out this morning, hanging out, talking little movies. Yeah, so we'll, like I said, I have a live stream scheduled for Thursday. Let me actually see what time it is because I don't remember. Because I am going to see Fantastic Four in the early evening. So I may just push that back, but we're doing a live stream, giveaway stream on Thursday. What time do we have it scheduled for? Let me see. Why can't I see this? Let's see. I think it's 9. We'll probably make it 9 p.m. next Thursday, to give myself enough time to get home from the movie and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that'll be next. I got, a couple videos dropping this week. Let me see. Why can't I can't see it because I'm in StreamYard. Oh, I have it scheduled for 8:30. I actually may push it back to 9 p.m. on Thursday. And then Tuesday, I'll be hanging out with Matt. Matt Likes Comics at 7 p.m. Eastern. So definitely come hang out with us on Tuesday. Like the Phantom 2. Zars, good morning, afternoon. I don't know in Australia, but appreciate you being here. But yeah, we'll wrap it up. We'll be live, like I said, Tuesday with Matt. Thursday, we'll be doing a giveaway live stream. I've got a bunch of, I got a short box full of books we're going to be giving away. The old, breaking out the old prize box that we had. You got a mix of stuff in there. But yeah, appreciate everybody hanging out. CBC Awards, 2 weeks left to nominate. So please go get your nominations in. Updated the list of nominated channels. You can go find that. Well over 500. Added probably about a half a dozen new names to the list in the last update. So definitely go check it out. And yeah, have a great late night. Okay. Yes, that's right. Because Man Spidey's Outback tonight for us is kind of like midday or morning for you guys. So gotcha. But yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Yeah, enjoy the rest of Saturday, Sunday, and we'll see you soon. We're going to play something on the way out of here if I can find it in StreamYard.